Young and the Restless. 2-week spoilers for February 23rd, March 06, 2026 divulge Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, begging, and Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, panicking. On Monday, February 23rd, Noah Newman, Lucas Adams, and Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, have a pleasant run-in at the GCAC until Noah finds out the dream job that Audra is toasting includes Newman media stolen from his family. Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, joins the conversation and agrees that Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, and Victor Newman, Eric Braden, had karma coming. Noah insists Victor didn't deserve all this, but Kyle suggests a parade to celebrate. Audra agrees, and Noah storms out irritated, while Kyle and Audra smile about being on the same side for once. Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, and Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, wonder if Victor left Genoa City to chase Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford. And then Nick shuts down Victoria's plans to weaponize Phyllis's kids against her. Victoria insists, and Nick finally says, "Wait to see what Victor got done." Nick also says that Phyllis feels like everything she's done is justified, so she's not going to cave anyway. I think that's an accurate read. But Nick is kind of drugged and overly chill and says that Victor can just take care of all this, but Victoria thinks Victor is too stressed and will get sloppy. Meanwhile, she's talking to the sloppiest person in the family right now because Nick's sitting there high on fentanyl. Victoria pushes more, and Nick finally agrees to consider the Phyllis plan and let her know. Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, blasts Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, about Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, and Phyllis. Chelsea tries a bunch of manipulation tactics, including guilt over taking Newman media from Adam, and that if Chelsea and Sally work together, they can stop this, and it would save Billy from himself. So Sally has to set Chelsea straight and tells her that she and Billy are done. It's over. Plus, Sally has no sympathy for the Newmans, and when Chelsea actually tries to threaten her, Sally snaps and says, "Don't try to con me," and she tells Chelsea that she has become a true Newman. On Tuesday, February 24th, Victor is back in town, but he's elusive about where he was and what he was doing. Nikki demands to know, but Victor won't say. I suspect that he went to see Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, and things maybe didn't go well. Victor might have been asking for more time to let Kane keep him scared and motivated to get the assets back. Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, and Victoria have a warm moment. We may finally get some of those sparks we've been expecting. There is so little romance on Y&R lately. Have you guys noticed it's just non-stop nonsense? No lovey-dovey stuff. Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziade, and Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, are over at Crimson Lights, and Phyllis barges in raging at Daniel and vowing that she will not forgive him for this. Now, whatever this is, we'll see. I wonder if Phyllis tried to go see Summer Newman, Allison Lanier, and Daniel warned his sister and Summer locked her out. Whatever it is, Daniel doesn't care and claps back at his mom, Phyllis. And then Daniel cuts Phyllis out of his life. He doesn't want her there. She stole Newman media. She conspired with Kane and now Billy. She's doing shady and illegal stuff, and Daniel is over it. On Wednesday, February 25th, it is the last day of sweeps, and Nick is hopped up on fentanyl and panicking because Matt Clark, Roger Howarth, could be anywhere, even at the ranch right now. And that's because Victor tells his family that Matt disappeared right after he was released from GCPD custody. The villain up and vanished. Dirty Detective Annie Stewart, Catherine Kresge may be with him, but we probably won't see Matt until March based on Roger Howarth's filming schedule, at least not in a meaningful way. Victor vows to stop Matt, but did they even have a lead on him? If not, then awful Matt has a big advantage. It would be great for the end of sweeps to get a peek at Matt. Just even one scene of him creeping off, maybe they'll throw a bone to us. We'll see. Detective James Burrow, Matt Cohen, is back to Young and the Restless this week, so maybe he's got an update for the Newmans on Matt. Nick and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case scheme is that they want to flip the script on Matt and take him down once and for all. So Sharon and Nick may try and lure Matt out with some kind of bait, but honestly, Nick's not in his right mind, and he is not up to a physical confrontation, although I'm sure he thinks he is. Devin Hamilton Winters, Brighton James, interrogates Kane and is grilling him about Lily. I think Devin may blame Kane for Lily falling off the radar, and I wonder if Kane turns around and points them towards Victor. and Kane may show Devin that kidnapping photo that he thinks is real, but we all know is fake. Thursday, February 26th, Devin and Nate Hastings demand answers from Victor about Lily's whereabouts after their run-in with Kane. Then, they're going to tell Abby Newman, Melissa Ordway, they have a lead they need to check out for Lily. Did they get that lead from Victor or was it from Kane? Meanwhile, Noah is thrilled that Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, is back in Genoa City. But he's extremely worried now because she's in danger because Matt is on the loose again. Sienna, Noah, Nick, and Sharon discuss Matt and his taking off the second that he was out of custody. So, Sienna may want to turn around and run back to Los Angeles, and Kane confesses to Phyllis. And I'm sure it's going to be lots of apologies. Friday, February 27th, Victoria and Nick are setting up a trap together. And this may be for Phyllis. Lauren Fenmore, Tracy Bregman, gets an unexpected offer. So this could be something related to the Newmans' downfall. Maybe somebody's job hunting, or it may be something about Fenmore's, because she and the store were name-dropped over on Beyond the Gates. Audra stops Sally from doing something she'll regret, and it may be giving back Newman Media or giving Billy another chance. The week of March 2nd through the 6th, we've got Sally's conscience continuing to eat at her. She doesn't like that Newman Media was rolled up in Abbott.com without her permission. But Audra is pressing her to forget it and just let the Newmans face the karma they earned. Nick becomes more dependent on the fentanyl. Sienna is going to be a target again soon because Matt is lurking. He's plotting, he's biding his time, and we're going to have a big showdown with Victor, Nick, Sharon, and the other Newmans, and possibly the Abbotts involved. All versus Matt in a big boss fight showdown coming in March. Plus, we have Tessa and Daniel getting closer. Right at this moment, Tessa is not tempted to reunite with Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, even though she feels bad for her. But at some point, Tessa may have second thoughts if Mariah begs her to stay with her or something like that. The week of March 2nd through the 6th, we've got Sally's conscience continuing to eat at her. She doesn't like that Newman Media was rolled up in Abbott.com without her permission. But Audra is pressing her to forget it and just let the Newmans face the karma they earned. Nick becomes more dependent on the fentanyl. Sienna is going to be a target again soon because Matt is lurking. He's plotting, he's biding his time, and we're going to have a big showdown with Victor, Nick, Sharon, and the other Newmans, and possibly the Abbotts involved. All versus Matt in a big boss fight showdown coming in March. Plus, we have Tessa and Daniel getting closer. Right at this moment, Tessa is not tempted to reunite with Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, even though she feels bad for her. But at some point, Tessa may have second thoughts if Mariah begs her to stay with her or something like that. Right now, Mariah Copeland feels like she doesn't deserve Tessa or Area Porter Copeland, Millie Ingle. But if Mariah apologized and let Tessa in, that could be a game changer. Meanwhile, Christine Williams, Laura Lee Bell, is busy fighting for Mariah, and Christine is pushing for psychiatric treatment, not prison, and there's supposed to be a trial soon. I don't think we're actually going to get a trial. I think we're going to be told about an off-screen plea bargain that was made. They very rarely pull out the courthouse set. Like, it's been, I can't even think how long. It's been quite a while since we had that courtroom set dragged out. Concerns about Nick intensify. His behavior is getting more erratic. Of course, Matt's going to be thrilled that Nick took the pills. Billy is spiraling further, and we'll see if Kane makes any headway with Phyllis. And an update is coming on Lily from Devin and Nate as they search for her. The drama intensifies in the coming 2 weeks on The Young and the Restless as secrets explode, loyalties fracture, and several powerful figures in Genoa City find themselves facing life-altering consequences. Between Kane Ashby desperately begging for mercy and Nikki Newman spiraling into overwhelming panic, the storylines promise emotional turmoil, shocking confrontations, and unexpected alliances. The period between February 23rd and March 6th becomes one of the most intense stretches in recent memory for Genoa City residents. As past mistakes resurface and dangerous enemies circle, even the strongest families begin to feel the pressure. Below is a full dramatic breakdown of what viewers can expect during the explosive 2-week arc. Genoa City has never been a place where peace lasts long. Power struggles, family conflicts, and buried secrets constantly threaten to disrupt the fragile balance between its most influential residents. This time, however, the storm begins with Kane Ashby, whose recent actions put him in a position he never expected. Kane has always tried to portray himself as a man capable of overcoming any obstacle, yet the consequences of a risky decision finally catch up to him, forcing him into a desperate situation. At the same time, Nikki Newman faces a crisis of her own. A troubling discovery triggers memories and fears she has struggled to suppress for years, pushing her emotional stability to the breaking point. Together, these two storylines create a wave of tension that spreads across the entire city. For months, Kane has been walking a dangerous line. His attempts to fix past mistakes have only complicated matters further, leaving him entangled in a situation that spirals out of control. During the first week of the spoilers, Kane finds himself confronted by someone with the power to destroy everything he has worked for. This confrontation changes the tone instantly. The confident businessman who once believed he could outmaneuver anyone suddenly realizes he has underestimated his opponent. The result is a moment viewers rarely see from Kane. He begins pleading for mercy. The person confronting Kane makes it clear that forgiveness will not come easily. Years of resentment and unresolved conflict have built up between them, and now the balance of power has shifted. Kane attempts to explain his motives, insisting that his actions were never meant to cause harm. But his words fail to soften the situation. Instead, the confrontation reveals that his opponent has been quietly gathering evidence against him. Evidence that could ruin Kane's reputation and possibly land him in serious legal trouble. For the first time, Kane realizes that the situation may be beyond his control. As the drama surrounding Kane unfolds, Lily Winters becomes drawn into the conflict. Lily has shared a complicated history with Kane, one filled with love, betrayal, and painful separation. Despite their past struggles, Lily cannot completely ignore what is happening to him. When she learns about the trouble Kane is facing, she feels torn. Part of her wants to protect herself from further drama. Another part remembers the man she once loved and wonders whether he deserves a chance to redeem himself. The emotional conflict places Lily in an uncomfortable position. Supporting Kane could reopen old wounds, but turning her back on him might haunt her conscience. While Kane deals with his growing crisis, Nikki Newman begins experiencing problems of her own. Nikki has spent years fighting to maintain control over her life and emotions. As the matriarch of the powerful Newman family, she carries enormous responsibility. But the events of these 2 weeks push her closer to the edge than anyone realizes. A seemingly small incident triggers a wave of anxiety that Nikki struggles to manage. Suddenly, memories from her past begin resurfacing. Memories connected to moments when her life spiraled dangerously out of control. The fear quickly turns into panic. No one knows Nikki better than Victor Newman. Victor has watched Nikki fight through countless challenges over the years, and he understands how fragile emotional balance can sometimes be. When Nikki begins acting unusually tense and withdrawn, Victor immediately notices. At first, Nikki tries to hide her distress. She insists that everything is fine. But Victor isn't easily fooled. He can see the signs that something deeper is troubling her. And when Nikki finally admits that she feels like she's losing control, Victor realizes the situation may be far more serious than he expected. Soon, other members of the Newman family begin noticing Nikki's struggle. Nick Newman becomes particularly worried when he sees how anxious his mother has become. Nick has always been protective of Nikki, and watching her suffer brings back painful memories from the past. He encourages her to talk openly about what she's feeling, but Nikki finds it difficult to explain. The fear she's experiencing isn't tied to one specific event. Instead, it feels like a wave of emotion she cannot stop. The more she tries to control it, the stronger it becomes. Back on Kane's side of the story, the pressure continues mounting. The person holding leverage over him presents a devastating ultimatum. Either Kane cooperates with their demands, or they will release the damaging information they possess. The threat leaves Kane shaken. He realizes that one wrong move could destroy his career, his reputation, and any chance of rebuilding his life. Desperation pushes Kane to do something he rarely does. He begins appealing to the humanity of the person threatening him. Kane pleads for understanding, insisting that exposing the truth would hurt far more people than just himself. But whether that argument will work remains uncertain. Soon, Jill Abbott learns about the trouble surrounding Kane. Jill has always been someone who values strength and independence. However, she also understands how complicated Kane's situation may be. When she confronts him about the rumors she has heard, Kane initially attempts to minimize the seriousness of the problem, but Jill sees through the act immediately. She demands honesty. And when Kane finally reveals the full extent of the danger he's facing, Jill realizes that the situation could have major consequences for several people connected to him. Meanwhile, Nikki's emotional struggle reaches a critical moment. During a family gathering, her anxiety suddenly becomes overwhelming. The room begins to feel smaller. The voices around her seem distant, and Nikki experiences a full panic episode that leaves everyone stunned. Victor quickly steps in to support her. He guides her away from the crowd and tries to calm her down. The moment becomes a wake-up call for the entire Newman family. Nikki's situation can no longer be ignored. Something must be done to help her regain stability. As both storylines unfold, whispers begin spreading throughout Genoa City. People hear rumors about Kane's desperate situation. They also notice Nikki's unusual behavior during recent public appearances. In a city where reputation and influence mean everything, these developments quickly become the subject of speculation. Some believe Kane may soon face a scandal that could shake several business alliances. Others worry that Nikki's emotional struggle might affect the Newman family's power and leadership. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. Genoa City senses that major changes may be coming. Facing the possibility of losing everything, Kane decides to take a bold step. Instead of simply begging for mercy, he attempts to negotiate a solution that could protect everyone involved. But negotiations with someone holding a powerful advantage rarely go smoothly. The conversation becomes tense and unpredictable. Kane realizes that convincing his opponent to show compassion will require more than just words. He may have to sacrifice something significant to secure their silence. While Kane fights his battle, Victor dedicates his attention to helping Nikki recover from her emotional spiral. He reminds her of the strength she has shown throughout her life. Victor refuses to let fear define the woman he loves. With the support of her family, Nikki slowly begins regaining control of her emotions, but the experience leaves her shaken because she realizes something deeply unsettling. Even after all these years, the past still holds the power to affect her in unexpected ways. As the 2-week period approaches its climax, both storylines remain filled with uncertainty. Kane's fate hangs in the balance. Nikki's emotional recovery is still fragile, and the residents of Genoa City continue watching closely as events unfold. Each decision made during these tense days could have lasting consequences. By the end of the 2-week spoiler arc, viewers will be left with several major questions. Will Kane successfully convince his enemy to show mercy? Could the truth about his actions still become public? Will Nikki fully recover from her terrifying emotional spiral? And how will the Newman family protect their matriarch from future turmoil? The answers promise to bring even more drama in the weeks ahead. The February 23rd March 6th storyline on The Young and the Restless delivers the kind of high-stakes drama fans love. Kane Ashby's desperate plea for mercy reveals how quickly power can shift in Genoa City, while Nikki Newman's emotional spiral reminds viewers that even the strongest characters can face moments of vulnerability. As secrets hover on the edge of exposure and emotions run dangerously high, the future of several key relationships and reputations remains uncertain. And in Genoa City, uncertainty almost always leads to explosive consequences.